I make art mainly for personal use, but I also make it to kind of get out there and meet people that are doing stuff like me. Constantly searching for other artists that are kind of tackling their interiors or something that they want to say in bigger, more vibrant colors, you know? Um, but yeah. I got started. My mother was an artist, and I got most of my art supplies from her. And since I kind of already had the background, I got a lot of support from my community at the time, and that kind of built up what I knew as to be the start of my art career. My paintings are a more contemporary take on classical work, featuring bold primary colors and more inventive, imaginative animals being featured in the pieces. My artistic process is a lot of thinking. I spend a lot of time looking at my pieces, trying to mentally figure out where things need to go and what they need to look like in the future. A lot of times I start off with a drawing and then I put that drawing up and it's just kind of like fill in the spots and kind of let the creativity flow from there. But that's basically my process.
Who do you make art for?
I mainly make art for myself, but also to find like other people like me. I like to get out there and make something more like bold that I'm not seeing in the arts. I feel like my role as an artist in society is to prove that you can just do it, that there is opportunity out there, and that it might be scary, but it's like a worthwhile venture to take. I mean, it's the same thing as YOLO, you know, you gotta do what you love, and this is what I'm doing. I'm doing what I love. So the Baltimore art scene is pretty different from what I'm doing. I find like a few people that are kind of doing this something similar to what I'm doing, but a lot of times I kind of struggle in the art scene. I think what Baltimore provides is opportunity, and that's what I've been able to find is opportunity to get out there. It doesn't happen as often, but it at least gives you a chance, unlike other cities, to get up on a platform and show your work. I have a project coming up, hopefully 2025, 2026, and it's addressing conflict. It's a two-person show, so I'll be addressing conflict in domestic areas, and my good friend, contemporary sculptor Catherine, will be addressing conflict when it comes to America's cultural relationship to military use. There's not really one name, but I feel like when I go to museums, the classical work inspires me. There's not really one specific person. I mean, there are a couple specific people, but generally seeing artists work in the 1800s and 1900s that aren't like take-home names that we're producing at the time, I usually find inspiration in their work, in that I really like the quality of their work. It might be boring to some people, but growing up, I grew up with a lot of older works in my home. My dad was an auction gallerist, so we took home a lot of stuff. So I literally grew up in it, and so finding inspiration in pieces that are like that usually inspires me when I go to museums, more so than contemporary art. If I could collaborate with anyone, I don't know. I feel like it would probably be Walton Ford that would be a cool one to collaborate with, just because he does narrative and a more classical shift towards, like in his work, he does classical watercolors and gouache in big pieces, featuring animals telling allegorical tales, and that is really cool, and I feel like somewhat similar to what I'm trying to do, except my stuff is a little bit more popular. You can find me at Temperdia on Instagram, and you can also find me just on the web as jacknovosel.com.